Henry Wells Jackson was born the seventh of 13 children in Chemming, I'm not sure how you say it, New York, on March 10th, 1827. His parents were William and Mary Troy Jackson. When his mother passed away, Henry went with his brother to Nauvoo, Illinois, where at the age of 17, Henry was baptized. In 1846, at the age of 19, Henry enlisted in the Mormon Battalion and marched off to California, consecrating his earnings to the church before he left. A year later, at the end of their service, Henry and was among those 81 battalion boys who re-enlisted to serve longer. In March 1848, those late volunteers finished their service again, and Henry went north and was among those who panned for gold near Mormon Island, near Sacramento. He would deposit substantial amounts of gold in the Utah Gold Bank. By 1850, Henry Wells Jackson was back in Utah, where he met and married Eliza Ann Dibble. Henry's biographer says of him, quote, "Throughout his life, Henry was strongly motivated by his family's financial well-being and traveled extensively in that pursuit. He would move his family to Tooele County and then to Bountiful, and along the way he enlisted in Utah Territorial Militia. Henry and Eliza spent some time, even, building up the Mormon settlement of San Bernardino in California. Henry even spent some months carrying the mail in the earliest forerunner of the Pony Express. At the end of those months of service as a writer, however, he was not paid the $1,300 he was owed. So, Henry decided that he would go east and file claims with the government for the money he was owed. It was in the interest of providing for his family that he made this difficult journey. He arrived in Washington, D.C. The Civil War was going on at that time. While he waited for that money to come in, Henry accepted employment freighting food and supplies for the Union Army. However, he was captured by Confederate forces and imprisoned for 3 months. When Henry was finally released in a prisoner exchange, he enlisted in the Union Army and was commissioned a first lieutenant. There were at least 2 reasons he joined the Army. First, there was a substantial sign-on bonus and good pay that he could send back to Eliza and the family for their support. And the second reason, he was angry at the way he had been mistreated by Confederate forces when he was merely a civilian. Henry served the Union with honor, but he so missed his little family back home. His heart was filled with that inner conflict, so typical of a conscientious and caring father. The conflict, driven by the need to provide for his family and racked with guilt at the same time for the feeling that he had so neglected them for so long by being gone. You understand? Every father understands this. "My little children," he wrote, "as well as yourself," he said to Eliza, have scarcely ever been out of my mind, and my heart has ached for you. Pray God," he pleaded, "that my life may be spared." End of quote. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. Henry was shot and wounded at the Battle of White Bridge in Virginia and succumbed to the wounds a short time later. He passed away May 27th, 1864, and was laid to rest at Hampton National Cemetery in Virginia. Weeks later, Eliza received a letter informing her of the tragedy. She opened that and read it on the steps of the schoolhouse where she taught. Sobbing tears of deep sorrow flowed down her cheeks as she read. With her little children surrounding her, they knelt around her knees and cried because she did. End of quote. In time, Henry's wishes would be fulfilled. Eliza would receive Henry's pension funds and the money due him for his service as a mail carrier. Henry would be fondly remembered by his family, but he holds a place in broader history as well. Henry Wells Jackson was the first and only Latter-day Saint from Utah killed in the Civil War, and the first Latter-day Saint to die in a United States national conflict. He died a hero, first to his family, for whom he gave his all to provide, and to his nation. Today, a monument is erected to his honor on the grounds of the Utah State Capitol building.